There are two NADP networks that are mercury networks. The Mercury Deposition Network, which measures wet deposition pollution of mercury, and the AMNET, Atmospheric Mercury Network, which measures the atmospheric concentrations of mercury, and we take those and estimate dry deposition. Those are the two networks that focus on mercury. The Mercury Deposition Network, or the MDN, started in 1995 with a trial year, and it actually started operation in 1996, so it's been running 15, 16 years now. AMNET started with a trial period in 2008 and officially started in 2009, so it's now been running 8 years. Mercury is a bioaccumulative neurotoxin, and so it affects developing fetuses and their development of their nervous system and brain. Mercury in the body of a mother can be transferred to the fetus, and so the specific focus is on tracking mercury in women of childbearing age who could potentially become pregnant and have fetuses. So we track the amount of mercury that's coming down into the ecosystem that migrates basically up the food chain, and then people are very concerned about women eating fish primarily, introducing mercury into their body. The CLAD subcommittee is focused on estimating the amount of deposition of a particular compound to an ecosystem and then comparing it to the estimated level that that ecosystem can absorb without any change. So that critical load is the amount where that change begins. And so they're very interested in how close you are to changing the ecosystem or how much you're putting into an ecosystem which is changing it. The Total Deposition Science Committee is very similar to CLAD, at least in my mind. They are estimating the total amount of deposition coming into an ecosystem. In our traditional networks, we measure wet deposition, how much is coming in with precipitation. Total deposition is trying to estimate how much is coming in through dry deposition, the part that we don't actually measure in our other networks. And wet deposition plus dry deposition is roughly equivalent to total deposition, and that's what that subcommittee is trying to do. Aeroallergens is a new scientific subcommittee. They're very interested in measuring things that we haven't measured traditionally in the past, aerobiological bodies, pollens, dust, that sort of thing that drive allergic type reactions in the populations. They're concerned that the measurements are being made, that are currently being made in the U.S. are not being made at enough places, and there's not enough consistency among the measurements. The idea is to begin to make measurements in a very consistent way for pollen and those types of compounds. NADP makes very basic measurements of the rate at which pollutants move out of the atmosphere, sort of the inverse of the people that do emissions estimates. They're measuring how quickly pollutants move into the environment. We're measuring how quickly they move out and where. Again, very fundamental information that can be used in a lot of different ways, and so that's what makes the NADP measurement and network important.